evening and welcome. I'm Joe.
And TJ.
And we are the Schoolhouse 302, and this is our hashtag Read This series. This month we are focused on employee retention and motivation, which is critical for any successful organization. So we use a tried and true strategy to help people understand the best ways to motivate and retain their employees, and that's actually a BDA. So in literacy, that's a tried and true strategy. We morph that in understanding that before you hire someone, you need to fully understand the position you're hiring them for. What do you want them to do, and who do you want in that job? Not enough time is taken to fully understand that. Then we have the D, and that's during the process. Make the interview actually rigorous. Put people through the stress test. You know, so often we just go through the hiring process, and granted, we need people to fill the position, but you have to fill them with the person in the right position. Therefore, the B and the D are critical. That leads us to the A. Once you have them, what do? TJ?
Our first pick for employee motivation and retention is by John Gordon, called Soup. The essence of Soup is really important. It's a lot about culture, but here's the deal for employee motivation and retention. What matters about the soup is who's stirring. That's the leader. Leadership matters. For employee motivation and retention, Gallup poll shows that 50% of people leave their job because of their direct supervisor. Leadership, leadership, leadership. You got to pick up Soup. It's a fable. John Gordon's great. He's got a ton of books. Read Soup.
Which leads us to our next author. What we want to do is feature Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. This book is a beast. Simon Sinek does an incredible job of actually portraying leaders, what great leaders do, but it's filled with stories. You know, if you want to go through books and you want to actually be able to retain what you read and then put it into practice, that's the issue. So often we're reading. The next day, we're not doing and implementing what we've read. Books like Leaders Eat Last just make it a little easier by giving you stories with very specific examples on how the leader eats last, puts their employees first, and builds employee motivation and retention.
Every time we do a hashtag Read This series, we feature a Mac Daddy. Our Mac Daddy this time for employee motivation and retention is first, break all the rules. What the world's greatest managers do differently. The thing about breaking the rules as a leader is sometimes doing things differently, something that's counterintuitive, is really important for motivating and retaining your employees. This comes chock full of research done by Gallup with a survey that you can do with your employees, including things like, I know what's expected of me. I have the materials and equipment to do my job. Someone who's my supervisor has recently recognized me in my position. Things that matter to people for their motivation and for them keeping them in their roles in their work. So we say read the Mac Daddy, pick it up first, break all the rules, and again it's by Gallup and it's chock full of research. You got to read this.
We feature the hashtag Read This series and we feature different books. The bottom line is simply to grow as a leader. If you truly want to live out your vision and mission of your organization, then you have to have a project management plan for your own growth. TJ and I believe one of the best ways to do that and grow is by reading. Why not fill yourself, your living room, and eventually your mind with some of the best thought leaders that have ever lived and that are currently living? So we appreciate you tuning in. We hope that you appreciate our hashtag Read This series. Let us know your comments. Let us know what you think, and also chime in. What are some books that you read and use to increase your employee motivation and retention? Thank you for tuning in.